So I recently saw a dog with medial shoulder instability. So you will see it shortened as MSI, and sometimes you'll see it as medial shoulder syndrome, which is MSS. So what is this thing? Okay. So it is a condition of too much movement. So instability, it means that the joint is no longer stable. It moves too much. Okay. And in the case of the shoulder, the ligaments on the inside are no longer holding the dog's shoulder in place. So when you test it in extension, you will find that it moves way too much to the side. Okay. Normal is about 30. You may see 50 if you're measuring, but even if you're not measuring, you just feel like instead of a normal shoulder out to the side movement, it just keeps going. Okay. When do we see it? Agility dogs, when they're doing their weaves, that's a common mechanism of injury over time if their shoulders aren't strong enough to sustain it. A lot of older dogs get this as their shoulder, they might start out with a supraspinatus tendinosis or bicipital tendinosis. It doesn't get addressed, it weakens, and then, maybe they slip on the tile floor, whoosh. Okay. So nobody comes to me and says, hey, my dog has MSI. What they'll come to me with is, my dog is limping. He might have a head bob. Okay. Short and stride when he's walking, right? And then when you test for it, what you'll find is there's a lot of guarding in the shoulder muscles. So it often gets, there's more than one mechanical thing going on here. Okay. You'll often get wasting of the shoulder. You might feel that the supraspinatus is also involved. Infraspinatus, wasting, all right, muscle guarding, and then whoosh, shoulder abduction test, way too much movement. So your primary presenting finding will become MSI. Everything else is because of MSI or going with MSI. So because it's unstable, your treatment has to be to help to make it stable. Okay. That's part of your goal. So a lot of your stability exercises become important. For example, your three-legged stance to stabilize that joint. Sometimes we'll put TheraBand, to try and get the dog to pull in. That's also good. Okay. Avoiding any conditions where they put their shoulder at stress, like weave pulls. Sometimes, if the condition is sufficiently advanced, they need to get a brace to stabilize the shoulder. Okay. So again, this is an overuse, but it's an instability syndrome. Okay. In worst cases, if it can't be stabilized, it has to go surgical. So we work as a team as rehab physios, animal physios. We work closely with our vets because if I can't stabilize this dog with, stability exercises, bracing and restricting activity, then it's time to pass it on to my friendly neighborhood vet who will refer to your friendly neighborhood dog. So it's an important condition to recognize. It's an important condition to recognize if you've already gone through some rehab for shoulder and your dog's no better, think MSI, because it's often underlying a lot of chronic shoulder conditions. People aren't checking for it. And, it has to be stabilized. Think of MSI as the forelimb version of craniocruciate instability, which is what we see in the hind. Thanks for commentary from my two dogs throughout this video. No extra charge.